Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go one more.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 11 now, Mariota. Lewis has the first down and then some. 23 yards the pickup there.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Mariota on target there to Humphries. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 11 carries, 61 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got a top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Derrick Henry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it third down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Now Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. J.J. Watt, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. The Bills have taken the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Watson. Catch is made here. It's the rookie from San Diego State, Kahale Waring. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again is Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 33 yards that time.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. I see you now. Check right 54.
To throw again, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A first down carry here for Johnson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From just shy of midfield, Watson, he completes this into the hands of Miller. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On first down, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. But it'll be second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson to throw again. It's complete. Stills. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On second down and 4, Mariota, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
You got it.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Watson, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Malcolm Butler.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing on 2nd down, Mariota. He finds Corey Davis. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, Your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Here's Watson, operating from the gun. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point up and good by Suckup, and that'll make our score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Watson now to throw. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Mariota. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
3rd and short yardage. Mariota. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And now out comes Houston. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. To throw again on second down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles.
3rd and long, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Hey, tight. Shoot. Whip. Watch the whip.
Now Watson throwing on 3rd and long. It's complete to Hopkins. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career.
Set. 19. Right there, 55. Let's go, D. Mike. 54. Check, 55. Mike. Here we go. Big ass.
Now a first down throw. Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Watson now throwing again. Going deep for Hopkins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A final shot before the break. Watson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Space to maneuver at the 40. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, boys.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Watson hands this to Foreman. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Rip left.
To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations, quite the accomplishment. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw, Watson. It's wearing the tight end with it. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Come on, fellas.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
From the gun, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Watson from the gun. He'll throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
1st down, Houston.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd down now, Foreman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Joker, 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 joker.
A shotgun snap for Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Marcus Mariota and the Titans about to go on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Got him in. It's Brown. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. Go.
Here's Watson operating from the gun. He's got Fuller. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
You got motion man. You got motion man right there. Mike by 4.
Now Watson on 3rd down, and he finds Stills, complete. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
1st down, a run with Hyde. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, Foreman. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watson now to throw on 3rd down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 38-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes us forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
You got nothing. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Do your job. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Kill.
They run again with Foreman. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try to run for it with Miller. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal.
Check. Watch the twist. Check 31. Mike's 5'4".
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They come out here in the eye. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll go with Foreman, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
55. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
To the air again. Mariota. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
You treat me out here? That's right.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Houston, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Titans, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.